最近成日覺得眼瞓，咁睇嚟除咗行完啲 tour 之外咧，仲有啲知識嗰啲要揾。
Ίσον αρκαθεύω. Τι λαμβάνει η χώρα. Πού καλυθές τούτο εστί. Αλόκοτον τα μάλα.
Greetings, wanderer, and welcome to the Agora of Athens.
唔知點解 stream 呢隻 game 嘅時候會睇到 Steam 嘅 overlay。
I love this Agora. Where else could you find a common fish merchant and an extravagant jewelry seller within a few feet of each other? It's that kind of variety that makes city life so rich and exciting.
即係馬劇啦。
The Agora is the beating heart of any Greek city. It is a place where all types of people may gather, from citizens and foreigners to magistrates and philosophers. All manner of business is conducted here, including political meetings, legal proceedings, and trade. When you finish exploring, come find me, and we can talk more. See you soon, wanderer.
我係需要揾下紫色嗰啲樹。雅典依區特別多。
The Agora was the civic center of Athens, but it wasn't only frequented by politicians and city officials. The area housed a market where people could purchase food and other goods from merchants. It was also frequented by philosophers, who used the public space to establish schools and pass on their teachings to students. Religion had its place as well. Temples dedicated to Hephaestus and Apollo were located in the Agora, along with the altar of the 12 gods and the monument of the eponymous heroes.
佢係講緊雅典嗰個 Agora，唔係其他城市嘅 Agora。哇！你都唔係影到好多嘢啫。View of the Agora。我諗你係 Google Map 會揾到啲更加清晰嘅相嘅應該。 Zeus 後面加個字係咪都係 Zeus 嚟㗎？The Zeus of Freedom。唔係幾理解到點解有啲 Zeus 嘅變種。好難揾喎，呢啲紫色嘅柱。個地圖係咪會顯示出嚟嘅？
The painted stoa, or stoa poikile, derived its name from the panel paintings on its wall. The paintings were created in the 5th century BCE by famous artists like Polygnotus and depicted Greek military victories like the Battle of Marathon. The stoa served as a public meeting place for citizens, but it was especially popular with philosophers who used the space to pass on their teachings. In 301 BCE, the philosopher Zeno of Kition chose the Stoa Poikile as the location for his school of philosophy, the appropriately dubbed Stoicism.
Modern period。要個人力多餘到一個程度先可以做呢啲裝飾性嘅嘢。不過雕像好似都幾多下。 啲地標性嘅 tour 應該係特別長。冇嘢嘅呢度。呢個係真品嚟㗎，點解會喺 Los Angeles 嘅？佢係咪冇整到個雕塑出嚟？隻 game 係冇整到個雕塑出嚟。唉，你影幅相貼落去都好啊。
Trade in the Agora was supervised by magistrates. There were 5 agoranomoi who kept order in the market, controlled the quality of goods, and collected market dues. This provided revenue to the city and helped pay the magistrates and those in charge of maintaining order. The market benefited everyone. Customers bought what they needed, merchants made their living, and city officials received the money they needed to keep the wheels of democracy turning.
farmer 個種嘅嘢咪多數自己食嘅啦，都係睇自己塊田幾大。我諗即係現代嚟講，我就覺得，即係以現代嘅角度嚟睇農夫，就多數覺得佢哋賣出種完啲嘢係賣出嚟嘅，但係佢哋嗰個時代可能係自己自給自足。
The original temple of Apollo Patrous was built around 535 BCE by Pisistratos, but was destroyed by the Persians during their invasion a few decades later. It long remained in ruins, except for the altar, which was left standing as a reminder of the Persian sacrilege. Eventually, a new temple was built in the 4th century BCE. Inside was a statue made by Euphranor, the same artist who painted in the Stoa of Zeus. The temple held special significance in Athens, as it was connected to the origin of the city's people. The name Patros, meaning fatherly, referenced the belief that Apollo was the father of Aeon, founder of the Aeonian Greeks, from whom all Athenians are descended.
點解羅馬整咁多大理石嘅複製品？佢哋又唔會用銅嚟整。 都係幾廿年歷史啫，呢座嘢。呢啲壺係保留得最多嘅，都幾神奇，好似好易爛咁樣。應該會兜翻去嘅地方嚟嘅呢度。OK。
The Temple of Hephaestus overlooks the Agora from the Colonus Agoreus Hill. Today, it is one of the best preserved temples in Greece, owing to its conversion to a church in the Middle Ages. But while this transformation preserved the structure, it also damaged the surrounding sculptures. The temple was dedicated not only to Hephaestus, the god of metallurgy, but also to Athena Ergane, goddess of arts and crafts. Nearly every part of the Hephaestion was lavishly decorated with depictions of famous mythological events, like the labors of Theseus. The Theseus scenes gave the temple the nickname Thesion, a name that lives on today as a city district in Athens. The Bouleuterion was another building in the Agora that contributed to the democratic process. It housed the Athenian Council of Citizens, the Boulei. This council of 500 was composed of 50 members from each Greek tribe, all of whom served a one-year term. They were chosen by lot from among citizens over 30. Every month, one group of 50 was chosen to lead the Boulei's executive committee, the Prytaneis. The Prytaneis met every day of the month and called meetings of the full council in the Bouleuterion, where they spent their time discussing bills.
又喺美國。呢個係咪類似而家啲上議院、下議院咁樣？呢個係咩話？
The Bulletarion was another building in the Agora that contributed to the democratic process. This gave the Britain.
哇，剩翻咁。咁多英雄嘅咩？呢個係真跡嚟嘅，又係喺美國嘅喎，點解嘅？咁鬼多怪物。
Ison arcafebo.
Πάυσε, συλλέγω.
Ανυπόφορον εστίν οράν. Ποιος ο υπέτειος?
The Prytaneon was one of the most important buildings in the Agora, as it was the headquarters of the Prytaneus. The Prytaneus was the executive committee of the Boulay, who ran the city's daily operations. The Prytaneus dined in the Prytaneon, and 17 of them slept on site to ensure there were always officials available to deal with emergencies. The Prytaneon also housed the official weights and measures of the city. The Fire of Hestia, which provided sacred fire for all public sacrifices, was also located there.
冇聽到，講多次，冇講多次。睇你要行遠啲喎。
The Prytaneon was one of the most important buildings in the Agora, as it was the headquarters of the Prytaneus. The Prytaneus was the executive committee of the Boulay, who ran the city's daily operations. The Prytaneus dined in the Prytaneon, and 17 of them slept on site to ensure there were always officials available to deal with emergencies.
Okay.
The Prytaneon also housed the official weights and measures of the city. The Fire of Hestia, which provided sacred fire for all public sacrifices, was also located there.
夏天嗰陣都應該唔過100萬人，都有500個議員。 冇咩問題啊，跟翻法律行事啫。還有 Miss Force，OK。
The Heliaia was the most important court in Athens and was presided over by a group of judges called Heliasts. Judging was a regular part of an Athenian citizen's life, with trials happening almost every day. Heliasts were chosen randomly based on two factors. First, that they were on the official list of 6,000 potential Heliasts. Second, that they were present at court on the day of the trial. A stipend of 2 obols was established by Pericles to compensate for the loss of work while on Heliast duty, and also to encourage participation in the judiciary process.
我記唔到咁多個字啊，今次就太多啲政治術語。呢個係名牌定係咩嚟嘅？睇嚟啲希臘字母都係可以好似楔形文字咁樣刻出嚟，真係都係咁設計嘅。喺有墨水之前就冇乜理由有啲彎曲比較多嘅，係咯個 P 咧咁樣啄出嚟。喺有墨水呢個發明之前係唔會有太多彎曲嘅文字。跟住兜翻去，呢邊同政治又有啲關係，似嗰啲唔係一個普通市場嘅公立一個咩地方。
In the Agora, an Athenian could buy and sell many different products. The permanent retail market was divided into sections according to the category of merchandise. Merchants and craftsmen who worked in the market could be citizens, foreigners, or even freed slaves. They sold everything from food and clothes to jewelry and slaves. With so much variety, competition was fierce, and that competition helped regulate the market's prices.
我諗佢嘅佔地係大到所有人都可以喺度買。
Πάυσε πάρα αυτά.
唔似而家咁樣啦，你淨係俾租都已經升高咗好多成本。呢個係喺倫敦，點解從來冇一樣嘢係喺希臘入面嘅咧？OK。 差唔多乘6，跟住乘10，要乘幾多？計唔到，算啦。60到啦，係嘛？因為0.4啊，0.43啊，60到啦，係啊。點解唔用重量計呢 ？Grain transaction。Permanent retail market。會唔會兜返過去？
The Heliaia wasn't the only court in Athens. This other court was located next to the South Stoa. Historians believe it to be a court based on the discovery of a nearby box containing 7 bronze ballots. These ballots were used by jurors to give their verdicts. The reason trials were so common in Athens might have been related to their democratic regime, which promoted the individual's right to demand reparations for injustice. However, not all legal matters were settled in this fashion. If a claim was small enough, it was settled individually by a magistrate. Public trials were reserved for more serious offenses, such as murder, theft, and political crimes.
真係唔稱得上靚仔啊！399年咁後期嘅。傳統價值係咪真係嗰陣嗰啲用詞嚟㗎？呢個好現代喎，呢個字。真係有幽默感嘅啫佢。 哇，太多名詞啦咁，今次個 tour。OK， 即係被告都係要，即係個原告都係會出事啊！呢個告人唔可以亂咁告人啊，都係咁樣兜過去。呢個最後一個站嚟嘅咯，已經睇咗呢度先。好遲先起嘅。Mountain House 係供水嘅呢個地方，要排隊添。打水係一個社交場合嚟，已經有 aqueduct 㗎啦嗰陣。可能男人都會喺度打水嘅，唔一定係女人。啊，終於睇完。
The mint was where the city made its coinage.
Come
It is
say.
believed that Athens' mint was in the city's agora, as modern excavations have turned up small disc-shaped pieces of metal used to make coins. Much of the silver required for minting coinage came from the Lavrion silver mines. Athens was so dependent on the mines that when they lost them during the Peloponnesian War, the city was forced to melt down a gold statue of Athena to mint gold coins and avert a monetary crisis.
都幾原始喎，個形狀係完全唔一樣嘅每一個，咁個重量係咪會唔一樣？咁唔流通嘅啲錢，即係同而家一樣係要有外匯儲備嘅。OK， 即係有啲專業嘅人係負責換錢㗎啦。 冇乜可能解決嘅偽鈔呢樣嘢。都幾多裝飾下其實。有大細之分嘅，OK。
You have now experienced the Agora, following in the footsteps of countless Athenians before you. I hope the trip has impressed upon you how important this place was to trade, politics, and law. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
佢每一個係比較問問題喺度邊嘅。
Very well. Let's begin. Which philosopher's school took its name from the painted stoa?
我諗佢 OK， 佢啲問題睇嚟係比較簡單。
Yes, Xenon taught at the stoa, and so he and his followers were dubbed Stoics. Time for another question. What other name has the Iphistion gone by?
啊？
Correct. The name was inspired by the scenes showing the hero Theseus, which decorate the temple. Only one question left. When Athens lost the Lavrion silver mines during the Peloponnesian War, which statue did they melt down to mint new coins? Correct. The Athenians melted down the statue of Athena to mint gold coins.
量化寬鬆。
It's clear you are very familiar with the Agora of Athens. I'm impressed. As you wish. Let's see what else Greece has in store for you.
真係要讀多啲經濟學。我已經唔記得個書名，我要睇到嗰段嘢。
Τι τούτο είναι?
真係有人玩咁多，是但啦，求其都打得贏㗎啦。呢個咩地方嚟嘅？我第一塊嚟喎呢度。啊，又係好長嘅今次，肯定係唔係話14分鐘咁短，唔係好順。邊個負責呢？
Here, visitor, and welcome to this sacred site. Delphi is an amazing place to visit if you're looking for information. I've come here on several occasions in search of answers to some particularly puzzling questions. And sometimes I even found them. This is Delphi, home of the renowned oracle. Greeks considered it the navel of the world. Pilgrims and kings journeyed here from all over Greece and beyond, seeking advice from Apollo through the voice of his interpreter, Pythia. During your visit, you will experience the sanctuary through a pilgrim's eye and discover how important oracles and prophecies were to the people of Greece. Now, go off and begin your pilgrimage. I will be waiting for you at the end of your visit.
無口屬性。
On their journey to the Temple of Apollo, pilgrims walked this sacred path up Mount Parnassus. The summer sun beat down hot on their backs. Along the way, they took in the magnificent monuments, treasuries, and statues that adorned the road. These landmarks were tokens of people's reverence for the oracle's benevolence. All were dedicated to Apollo, and most were offered by cities to commemorate military victories. The monuments represented not only their donors' piety, but also their power and wealth. The sanctity of Delphi has endured to the present day, and visitors still take this very same route.
係成個城挖翻出嚟嘅。French。OK。當然最首要任務係掘翻出嚟先。啊，係條村落嚟嘅。OK。OK。即係喺個荒地嗰度，其實就一個咁重要嘅城市，到最後竟然係完全埋晒落泥土入面，唔知係好事定壞事啊！如果冇擺喺泥土入面，可能一早破壞咗。啊，好多名啊！我記名係最差㗎喇。 咁鬼多人名，救命啊！OK， 就係呢個7個人。7 leaders， 7個人就將個城市打落嚟，真係神話先有。當然喺遊戲入面，我一個人就可以將個城市打落嚟。Treasury 永遠都係一間咁細嘅屋，真係點防備呢？Treasury is a very small temple-like buildings。係咯，係咪太細？有冇閘口嘅咧？咁細座嘢都要 constructed。當然呢個遊戲係比較容易眼瞓，因為唔係遊戲，只係純粹睇字。落去先。佢話14分鐘，我次次都係會超過佢嘅時間。
One of the most impressive dedications to Apollo came from the Cnidians, a Greek population that colonized the island of Lipari, north of Sicily. The story behind this dedication is notable. The Cnidians were at war with the Etruscans in the Tyrrhenian Sea. Seeking a good omen, the Cnidians consulted the oracle, and following her advice, they successfully captured 20 enemy ships. To thank Apollo, they offered the god the same number of statues as ships seized.
呢個真品嚟嘅喎。佢哋話英雄嘅性器官係比較少、比較細啲嘅，真係越整越細。巴黎羅浮宮。Quickness. OK， 第一次有幅咁近嘅相啊！原本應該冧咗嘅，埋喺啲泥入面。白色呢啲就係新填上去嘅，真係好似泥咁嘅顏色嗰啲，應該係原本有嘅。 喺有飛機之前運輸係都幾困難下，其實嗰陣又未有，嗰陣得火車啫嘛，有馬車嘅，馬車都 OK 嘅。當然如果有路同埋有普通嘅車就會好啲，普通嘅火車就好啲。咁佢哋特登搭條鐵路過嚟先收復到呢個遺跡。現在又係咩呢 ？OK。Randomly appointed citizens 咁都得。佢哋點知道嗰個人係 Hera 嘅
τι γίνεται?
？Hera， 即係佢個裝飾同埋啲特徵係令人知道佢係咩人嚟嘅。
Next to the Naxian Sphinx stood a simple structure to display offerings from the Athenians, most of which were spoils of war. In particular, these offerings, called ex-votos, were prows of sunken Persian ships. The Athenians built the portico after their naval victory over the Persians in 478 BCE.
點解要將敵人嘅皇帝刻喺個銀上面啊？咁好有中世紀 feel 喎，其實呢種皇冠，一隻手係攞住支槍或者矛，另一隻手攞住弓，咁奇怪。呢座嘢係 OK。 喂，6米高都幾高，4個人咁高喎。
Once arriving before the temple, pilgrims wishing to consult the oracle had to first pay a tax. This tax gave them the initial right to approach the altar of Apollo and make an animal sacrifice to the god. But before proceeding to the Pythia, the preliminary ritual had to succeed. If the animal reacted favorably and showed signs of acceptance to the god, it was sacrificed, and the pilgrim would be allowed to enter the temple to question the Pythia.
呢個都係真品嚟嘅。係可以食翻嘅，即係淨係俾咗，淨係俾咗啲骨同埋皮俾人啫嚇，都至少可以食翻。即係都係要有錢人先嚟得㗎啦，咁樣普通人啊唔使旨意啦。
At last we arrive at the Temple of Apollo, where the oracle relayed her prophecies. The temple was the final destination of those seeking an audience with the Pythia, and its appearance matched the majesty of its purpose. Atop its imposing columns, the structure's pediments displayed famous mythological scenes, sculpted by the renowned Greek artist Antenor. But as grand as the temple looked from the outside, it paled in comparison with what happened within.
就要行埋入去㗎啦。哇！啊，乜都冇，乜都冇整。又地震。都捱唔到好耐，幾百年其實都好耐，同其他嘢比唔係好耐啫。呢捱咗2000幾年嗰堆。
I will see you again soon, traveler.
嗱，而家咁睇，我唔覺得入面有咩特別㗎。
Prophecies were given in the most restricted part of the temple, the adytum, by a chaste woman known as the Pythia. Before delivering prophecies, she first purified herself with water, then burned laurel leaves and barley flour to begin the ritual. Finally, while seated on a tripod surrounded by offerings, the Pythia delivered Apollo's messages. Her words were often strange and indecipherable, and required further interpretation by the temple's priests. Despite much research, the exact causes of the oracle's behavior while prophesying are debated to this day.
Τι γίνεται?
有幾靚喎，佢畫得。有少少日本漫畫嘅味道，佢種畫風，係嘛？喺柏林，冇一樣嘢係喺希臘嘅啊。To common mortals.
Myths say that while searching for an oracle who could impart their words to mortals, Apollo established a sanctuary on Mount Parnassus. Apollo took over this site by slaying its sinister guardian, the snake-like python.
Your visit is complete. I hope you now understand how important this sanctuary was, and how it affected the lives of people both in the Greek world and beyond its borders. To be honest, I could speak about Delphi all day. But what would you like to do now? Ah, you wish to test your knowledge. Let's begin with a simple question. What did the oracle use to purify herself before her predictions? Correct. The oracle used water for purification. Time for another question. Which god was believed to speak through the oracle at Delphi?
Hades.
Yes, the oracle allegedly spoke the words of Apollo, which were then interpreted by priests. One final question for you. Delphi is situated on which mountain? Correct. Delphi stood on the slope of Mount Parnassus. Well done, traveler. Your knowledge rivals that of the wisest philosophers. Of course. Follow me.
翻返嚟 Attica， 幾長啊呢個地方。9個站，我就有啲攰啦。仲有啲咩呢 ？Democracy、Pottery、Theatre、Music，OK， 都係兩樣嘢嚟嘅。呢度都有兩個 discovery sites， 喺邊度揾啊？我懷疑係有個 mod， 係隱藏咗嗰啲 logo。都係得啲比較出名嘅嘢，始終唔係一本教科書呢個。我會 expect 佢有多少條嘢，至少每個地區我應該接近每個地區有一個 tour 先啦。有多啲出名嘅地方，係唔止咁少㗎。呢個13分鐘，我覺得唔係幾順得啩，下次先。